Yet another Islander has come forward, guys, to say they were supposed to be on All Stars, but decided to back out. Do you remember Leanne? Leanne, I think, was coupled up with Mike on her season until Mike dumped her for Sophie, I think, who's now with Josh from Love Island All Stars last year. Now, I could be wrong on that, I'm just thinking off the top of my head. Leanne made a TikTok in which she details she'd been in holding for 2 weeks in South Africa and then decided not to go on the show after all. I don't know whether she decided or whether producers decided, but I don't think she was very impressed with what she saw. She thought, no, I'm not going to bother. Although, 2 weeks, I feel for her in a way, because yeah, it sounds like fun, but what is holding? I mean, what does holding involve? Does it mean sitting in your hotel room all day? Does it mean, I don't know, I've no idea. Does it mean being brought down to the set just in case they need you every day and just waiting around endlessly? I'm not entirely sure, but let's have a look at her TikTok, and then she kind of goes into the story, and then it just stops, and she starts modelling all the outfits she would have worn had she gone in. So I'm not going to show you that bit because I wasn't very interested in that. I think some of you will be amazed to know that I wasn't very interested in the outfits. But the other bits I was interested in.
I was in cast holding for this season of Love Island All Stars for over 2 weeks. Flew out on the 5th Jan. I got back last week, like the 22nd, 23rd. The more the show went on, the less sense it made for me to go in there and the less I wanted to. Long story short, because it is actually a long story, I'm back. This whole situation is so ironic because it took so much like convincing and persuading for me to be like, all right, cool, I'm actually gonna give it a go and be open. Because I know what my experience was like last time.
You're obsessed with me. Got the ick.
Then at the same time, I said to myself, I've grown, I've matured, I'm so different now. I'm a little bit less unhinged. Oh, also because I'm single AF. I'm trying to meet someone like completely new. So I thought, okay, cool, like I'm actually open to it for real. That's why it's just so ironic that obviously things went this way. But the only thing I'm annoyed about is that I lost my Duolingo streak. And also, I didn't get to show you guys my outfits. I feel like I picked some really cute outfits that I'm going to do a haul. I'll probably take them on holiday with me. But I just want to show you now. So this was actually one of the outfits that I wore when I filmed my beauty.
Are you disappointed Leanne didn't go in? I think what I'm finding puzzling is who they decided to go in, how many bombshells do they actually have in South Africa, and what is the point now we're so late in the day? With the show finishing on Monday, surely are we going to get any more bombshells in now? I would be very, very much of the mind that that's highly unlikely to happen. I'm not even sure we're going to get a movie night now, and we're certainly not going to get Casa Amor because there's no time. But like I say, I mean, they could try and throw it in there, but it would seem like a bit of a rush. So it's been a bit all over the place, hasn't it? So we'll assess it more a bit later. But let's talk about what's going to happen in tonight's episode. Because do you remember at the end of last night's episode, they said, the Islanders want you to answer their questions, and you had a few minutes to go on Instagram and do it. So I think in tonight's episode what happens is, apart from the usual rubbish stuff such as Luca and Harriet, make up. What's the other one? Curtis and Luca or someone are going to make a breakfast for their girlfriends, and then we're going to sit down and have a breakfast together. Which just sounds same old stuff we've seen a million times before. They're going to make a breakfast and go, oh, that looks amazing. Oh, it's like being in a restaurant. Oh, I couldn't be happier. And then a week after they say that, they dump them. But anyway, that's going to happen. Then we're going to have this Love Island All-Stars dinner, where they will see how the public responded to their questions. So let's have a look at that in a bit more detail, because it could be quite interesting, or it could be incredibly confusing. As they make their choices and submit the questions, it's time to get ready for their all-star dinner. As the Islanders get ready for the evening, EKIN-SU asks, do you think it's going to kick off? It's more the questions. ELMA says, we're going to hear answers to what we haven't asked, and that we don't want the answers to. It's going to ruffle some feathers. I should have said that in her accent, shouldn't I? Oh, next time, yes. They sit down at a beautifully laid table by the fire pit, and Curtis gets a text after dinner. Islanders, as you know, the public have answered the questions you asked in your couples. Here are the results. First up, Gabby and Casey's question. Do you think we'll work on the outside? And they're told 57% said yes, and 43% said no. Casey responds, in here, it's 100%, so it's interesting, it's kind of split. A slight win. It is, 57% is a slight win. Better news for Catherine and Omar, and Harriet and Ronnie, as their questions, are we compatible, and are we right to have given it a second go, both come back with a 70% yes and a 30% no. Catherine adds, it feels so good that the public think we're compatible, I'm so happy. Well done, Catherine. Harriet tells him, "Yay, I feel really good." EKIN-SU isn't happy when the answer to her question with Curtis, "Do you think we are a good match?" is read out to the group. And things get worse when it's time for round 2, the questions they asked about other couples. Catherine and Omar's question surprises Gabby and Casey, and things get tricky between the two couples, whilst Luca is surprised to be the topic of questions from both Gabby and Casey and Harriet and Ronnie. Elma and Sammy's question about Curtis and EKIN-SU reignites another clash between Elma and Curtis. When it's revealed, their question was, "Do you think Curtis and EKIN-SU are the weakest couple?" Curtis says there's a spike to it, as Elma tells Curtis, "Have a day off, mate." It seems the truth is in fact a dish best served cold, as the islanders grapple with the ramifications of their questions and what the answers from the public might mean for them all. Will they let opinions from the outside affect their time in the villa? Do we really think Elma and Curtis are going to go over the same ground again? Do you think Elma's going to bring up EKIN-SU kissing Sammy again? It does sound a bit like it, doesn't it? So we basically have a game here where the answers to the questions provides the conflict and the drama, and of course there's going to be some. And maybe Harriet will take this opportunity to say again, "Shut your effing mouth." I mean, why not? It's becoming a bit of a tradition. And maybe Grace will do it too. As some of you have been pointing out, she said the same thing to Omar a while back. They like saying this phrase. It's a good phrase. I think it's wonderfully wholesome. All the children in primary school should learn it, and how to spell it properly too. So guys, this is actually a new thing. I don't think they've done this before. Certainly not on All Stars, but I don't know if they've done this before on Love Island like this. So it's a new thing. It may work, it may not. I personally think it's a really cheap way to avoid having to create another game and do all the setup for that, because it's just reading out questions and the public are partially to blame for what happens. So yeah, a bit of a letdown. I was expecting something better from All Stars at this point. I thought tonight we'd have movie night, which I thought would have been a really good, fun thing to do. But maybe A, as I said earlier, they're not doing it, or B, they decided too expensive. You know, they've got to set up a screen and do all that stuff, might be a hassle. Or C, maybe they are doing it, but they're leaving it till very late. Let me know your thoughts on what you're expecting from tonight's episode. I don't think anyone's going to be dumped tonight, but there will be clashes, I suppose. Because last night was a surprisingly boring episode when you consider it culminated in a dumping. There we go. Anyway, thanks for watching as always, guys. I'll see you later, 9 o'clock, in my TV room. And if you do materialise in my TV room at 9 o'clock, I will be calling the police. Oh yes.